Hey everybody, it's Eric coming from Homeboy's Hot Rod Garage. So I just want to give you an update on my 1950 Dodge and some of the things that I've been doing in the last month. So just as a heads up, my truck has always ran fine. It's been a carbureted truck, and you know, I have a friend. He had the Holley Sniper, the first generation Holley Sniper fuel injected carburetor, the EFI, on his truck. So I like it. He's had some issues with the first gen EFI from Holley, the Sniper. So I went down to Summit. They had it on sale. I bought it. I thought about it. I said, honestly, I wasn't even familiar with the fact that they had come out with a Holley Sniper too. So I went ahead and took it back, and I got the full setup with the fuel pump that goes underneath the truck, underneath your car. I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm going to take this one back, and I'm going to go ahead and get the kit with the fuel pump that goes in the tank. So I just want to give you a quick update. You know, transmission went out, torque converter went out. I went ahead and placed the torque converter, but that little simple item, you know, caused me, since the truck was up, to do a whole lot of unplanned maintenance on the truck. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and walk you through some of the things that was done on the truck from the front all the way to the back, and I'll let you hear it also when I get it finalized and I fire it up. So make sure you watch this entire video, and later on I'll post, you know, what it's like to tune it, and you know, any suggestions that I may have for you and whatnot. This is not a perfect truck. This is a rat rod truck. It was aired to me from my dad. So my mom gave it to me, and I built the truck just to have fun. I didn't care to paint it. I didn't care to change anything too much. But with that being said, everything else has been changed. So let's talk about the Sniper kit. As you see, the boxes, the shop is junky, so I'm just telling you now. So headers I tried to buy and put on here, but wasn't able to get them to fit right. So everything is pretty much out of the box. This is the fuel pump. I chose to get the one that drops down into the tank. So I'll go ahead and put this on next. But as far as the Sniper is concerned, I like it. You know, just heads up, I like it. So this is my 350. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, you can put an LS 5.3 in here for the same price that you buy this setup. You're right. I thought about it. And the only reason why I didn't do it is because this truck has a 350 in it, and the frame mounts have been modified, so it shifts the motor forward. And the reason why my headers didn't work over there is because, take you on the driver's side, because the motor was shifted forward, the headers came down, and they didn't clear the cross member. The ones that I bought, they didn't clear the cross member. So I just said, okay, I bought them at Summit on the clearance rack, so lost a little money right there. But yeah, so I got it hooked up now. New kick down cable for my Turbo 350. A friend of mine came by and told me about. I had the wiring harness coming out of this hole, which I'm gonna fill this in. I'm gonna clean all this up, the firewall and everything, clean up my Wildwood suspension and stuff. But brought it out down here, all the wires to the motor, as well as the accelerator cable and everything. So this is the wiring harness for the Sniper 2 and water temperature sensor. This is the Sniper temperature sensor here, as you see me tapping on. And the unique thing about it, I had relays running here to operate my fan, my electric fan, but the Sniper has two negative outputs that you can actually set the temperatures on your fans and just run it from there. So I took the temperature switch out, ran that ground wire, that negative wire that was running to the temperature switch, just ran it in and connected it to the actual sniper unit. Yeah, so that's working out real well. So I just put the exhaust back under the truck. And as you can see, it's got the dual exhaust. And something else unique, give me a second. Something else I did, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. But I went ahead and changed my transmission cooler. What I wanted to do was put my transmission cooler in the back. So I ran the lines all the way to my transmission. And you can see I put a fan on this and ground, of course. And this wire here, like I just said, the sniper runs two fans. So I hooked this one to the second fan switch. And what I'll do, I'll set the temperature low on this one for the second fan switch. I had the truck 4-linked about a year and a half ago. So it's got the QA1 on it, Panhard bar. It's been, you know, tightened up pretty tight. As you can see, everything underneath now on the back side of the truck. Got the derail pan. I bent it up a little bit. I'm sitting here draining the oil because I need to put new oil in it. So I'm letting that drip and drain. Got the bare front brakes, dual piston front brakes on the truck. So there's the gas tank. I got to drop the tank and put the the fuel pump in it. Here's the O2 sensor from the Holley sniper. So it wasn't super hard. The fact that I did so much other stuff along with installing the sniper is what took so long. So I talked about the fan in the back. Here's the relay I connected. So I got all my power coming from my amp, which is connected to the battery that's right up underneath the driver's floorboard. And this wire here that's running from the relay, it's going to the, can you see this? Let's see. Well, I got it connected to the Holley sniper second fan control wire here, whereas the first fan control wire, it's going back up underneath the dash and connecting to the original fan. So you see the schematics that I used to connect. Drive responsibly. I used to have my choke right here for my truck. All right, she's all redded out. Love her. It's fun to drive. See my light? Pretty cool. All right. So here's the hood. Of course, I got a piece of foam down in it to keep it from being damaged. I'll put the hood back on it pretty soon. She don't look like a beast. She sits good too. She's jacked up right now, so that's why it's not squatting in the front. Still on that jack stand right there, but once that jack stand is removed, it pretty much tucks the tire. Hey everybody, it's Eric again. Kind of cold out here in the shop today. So yesterday was an interesting day with the truck. I was able to crank the truck up for the first time, and whew, it was terrible. I mean, I had a loud knocking in the motor. Obviously something had fallen in through the intake and gotten inside on the piston. So I had to pull the heads on it. I had to take everything off the motor, go inside the engine and just, you know, verify that nothing was wrong. It was running bad too. And one of the spark plugs had definitely shown that something had hit the tip of it. So it funny thing, it stopped rattling for some strange reason. Whatever was bouncing around in there, and I mean, it was loud. It was very loud. It was I can't even give you an equivalence like from what I heard. I guess you can throw a lug wrench inside your a lug nut inside your motor or something. It was loud. So even after it had, evened out and it was running bad, the carburetor wasn't it didn't seem to be running right. It wouldn't accelerate when I pulled the throttle or mashed the accelerator cable. It just gave me all kinds of symptoms. So I took the head off. I didn't see anything wrong. I did see some dents on the top of the piston, but they were minor. So I went ahead and put a new head gasket on the motor and put new spark plugs in the motor, all new gaskets around the motor, and fired it up, and it was running good. So I guess I can say thank God, right? I didn't want to have to put a motor in here. I was just trying to put fuel injection on an engine that had always ran well, so that would not have been the outcome that I was expecting. So let me show you what's been going on. So as you see, I have the motor back in the truck. One thing I've noticed from the sniper gauge is that it's not reading high voltage. So what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to put a distribution block on here, solder in a new power cable, and I'm gonna connect the alternator to the distribution block and run the distribution block main power wire to the starter, because I know the starter wire runs directly to the battery. So to keep me from having to run wire through the small truck everywhere multiple times, I'm just gonna bring this big power wire down and connect it on the starter, and then from the alternator it'll go to the distribution block, and that should send power back to the battery. I did test it. So last night I ran a quick jumper wire to the battery, and the alternator started charging. So I know that that's what the issue is. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and mount everything back up, mount the monitor, and I'm gonna give it a test drive. Here it is. Got it running good, idling real smooth. Unfortunately, with everything I've done to this truck, gotta clean it up now. The transmission is still bad, so I put a new torque converter in it, hoping that that's what the problem was, and it didn't fix the problem. So it's still not pulling the way it's supposed to. So next thing I'm gonna do is have to pull it down and get the transmission rebuilt, or I may just put a new transmission in it. I'm thinking that that's probably what I want to do at this time. Just go ahead and just put a new transmission in it. It may go to a 700 R4. Right now it's got a 350 in it. So this is where I relocated the transmission cooler. It's in the bed of the truck. It's got a fan on it. It's actually blowing air right now. So if I have not had enough of this truck so far, the craziest thing happens to me. I'm out driving the truck and I take a trip to Summit, but before I can even get to Summit, the truck cuts off on me in traffic. I was able to fire the truck up and pull over to a gas station and just, you know, check the truck out. One thing I did notice is that it sounded like the pump was making a whole lot of noise. So when I went over to Summit and I told him, I said, listen, I just bought this sniper kit. Cost me almost $2,000. It came with the in-tank pump. Thought I was buying the best kit. And I told them the pump went out. It's making loud noises. Of course, they asked you all kinds of questions. I'm like, no, 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 no. The pump is bad. So with no issues, he told me, you know, if I buy another pump and when I get home and I take that pump out, put it back in the box, they'll, you know, of course, refund me for the pump. And so that's what I did. But I want you guys to hear what the noise the pump was making prior to me replacing it. And then I'll let you hear what the new pump sounds like. So now the truck is back up and going. It's running fine. I was able to put a few miles on the truck to try to get it calibrated. The only issue I noticed with the truck right now is that it'll run fine, and if I cut it off and I get back in it, it seems like it's surging. So one other thing I've been working on is trying to create a bracket to line my accelerator cable up so that it's straight with the throttle body. So now you see the bracket that I installed. I fabricated this bracket just to line up the throttle cable the way it should be. And so that's working out real well. Got the engine all the way back together. Looking real nice. Also, I went ahead and powder coated the mirrors and handles. Back red. Did this little modification to the gauges. I like this better than the big chrome rings that it had on it at that time. Drive responsibly. You hear me? Drive responsibly. Big Whiskey Vask. Still got my instructions on the seat, so when I'm driving it, I can, you know, understand what's going on with the truck. About to add more speakers to the doors as well. I turned the toolbox around the other way. It was facing the other way. I like it better this way. So still doing a lot of little minor adjustments. So hey, I'll be coming back to you guys with a lot more videos of the Dodge truck when I do, you know, things to the Dodge truck. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This will be, this is the first video, but probably if I have time, I'll start making a lot more videos and so forth. Because like I say, I have a lot of projects going on in the shop. I think it's about time for me to start sharing some of my videos. It seems like everybody else is sharing their videos, so I'm gonna start sharing my videos as well. So until then, see you guys later.